Okay, now we consider a unitary operator U equal to e power minus I epsilon a, where epsilon is a real parameter which may be scalar or vector, and a is an operator, Hermitian operator. We have already used that operator here. Okay, an observable. Then we go to the UA. UA means it is the unitary operator. We have already defined H equal to H. We have already got this statement, this expression from here. Yeah, UH equal to HU. Using that expression, U equal to HU or U dagger. That means we operate U dagger on the right hand side of these expressions on both sides. So U dagger equal to U dagger. U dagger is unitary, so we will get H. So we have U dagger equal to H. This is a transformational equation. We already seen these type of equations, unitary transformation equations. Okay, here it transforms one frame to another frame, but here both H is uh, same. Not that means it is symmetric. H is symmetric after the before and after the transformation. H is same. Then therefore we can say that H is symmetric. That is, if the observable corresponding to the operator EA is conserved during the motion of the system, then the Hamiltonian of the system is invariant under unitary transformation generated by A. Such transformations, that transformation leaves the Hamiltonian invariant, are called symmetry transformation. So therefore the transformations that leave the Hamiltonian invariant are called symmetry transformations. Thus, a conservation law invariably implies the existence of a symmetry transformation for the system. The converse is, however, not necessarily true. A symmetry transformation, in addition to leaving the Hamiltonian invariant, is characterized by the following properties. It preserves the Hermitian character of an operator. This ensures the observables remain observables under transformation. It conserves probabilities. This means that the absolute value of the scalar product of a pair of vectors remains invariant under the transformation. Both these properties implies that the symmetry transformation could be either unitary or anti-unitary. So we know that UH equal to HUA. We see that if ket UK is an eigenvector of H belonging to the eigenvalue EK, then H UK, we have already seen that H UK equal to EK UK. That means H psi equal to E psi. We already know that. Then we have used the transformation equation UK. Then we will get the right side. So that U ket UK is also an eigenvector of H belonging to the same eigenvalue. If U ket UK is linearly independent of ket UK, then the energy eigenvalues EK degenerate. And then it has multiple values. Thus, degeneracy of the energy eigenvalues is another consequence of the invariance of Hamiltonian under a symmetry transformation. Conversely, degeneracy of the energy eigenvalues implies the existence of an operator that commutes with the Hamiltonian and thereby points to the existence of a symmetry transformation for the system. Now we go to the space-time symmetries. The space-time symmetries refers to the symmetries associated with geometrical operations like displacement, rotation, and inversion, reflection at the origin in space and time. Example, the assumption that space is homogeneous requires the Hamiltonian of a physical system be invariant under displacement or translation in space. Such translation invariance implies the conservation of the linear momentum of the system. Homogeneity of space and time and isotropy of space. Continuous symmetries are associated with displacement in space and time. Discrete symmetries are associated with the inversion of space and time. The continuous symmetries associated with the displacement in space and time. Discrete symmetries associated with the inversion of space and time. Okay, both we have two symmetries, continuous symmetries and discrete, but depends on different things. Then displacement in space. Displacement in space describes the conservation of linear momentum. We have already seen here. A displacement in space can be described either as a displacement of the coordinate system with the physical system fixed, the passive point of view, or as a displacement of the physical system with the coordinate system fixed, the active point of view. Both are similar. Generally, we adopt the active point of view in the case of continuous symmetries and the passive point of view in the case of discrete symmetries. You see here both the points, both the views. Passive point means displacement of the coordinate system with the physical system fixed with the particle, or as the displacement of the physical system with the coordinate system fixed. Let alpha represents the Hermitian operator, that is the generator of the infinitesimal displacement delta rho of the physical system. The unitary operator corresponding to the displacement according to, we have already considered the unitary operator is given by u alpha delta rho equal to e minus e power minus I delta rho alpha dot alpha. Then we expand using series expansion. Then we can write e power minus x 1 minus I delta rho dot alpha. Then other term minus and etc. We neglect the other terms. We consider only the first and second terms. Here u is a translation operator, displacement. In the case of displacement, we consider u as a translation operator, which is defined as an operator which shifts particles and fields by a certain amount in a certain direction. Now we put t instead of u for the translation operator. For t of x, it moves along the x direction. T of x acts on a particle located at point r. The result is a particle at point r plus x. Then after the translation, then the position will be r plus x. Translation operators are unitary. We have already seen here. translation operators are unitary. If a particle has a position space wave function psi of r and t of x, psi of r, and now t of x acts on the particle, the new positions space wave function psi prime of r equal to t of x psi of r. That means this is the transformation equation. Psi of r is the before the transformation, then the operator t of x translation operator is acting on the system, then it will have the new state, new position space wave function, that is psi dash of r, where psi dash of r is defined as psi of r minus x. Using this feature we can clarify this. Here the operator is acting, this unitary operator u of delta rho acting on the psi of r, then it will have the new wave function. It moves to the new position psi dash of r, then the wave function is psi of r minus delta rho. Okay, which means that the wave function at the point P, which means the wave function at point P after the displacement is the same as the wave function at P prime before the displacement. Using the Taylor expansion, we can write psi of u minus s equal to approximately equal to psi of u minus s into dou psi by dou u of psi of u. Then higher terms, we neglect the higher terms. Then psi of r minus delta rho, we use the Taylor expansion. On the left side, the unitary operator, we have u psi of r. We have u psi of r. We have used the Taylor expansion here. E power minus I delta rho alpha. നമ്മളതിനെ ഇവിടെ എക്സ്പാൻഡ് ചെയ്തു ഇത് എഴുതിയതാണത്. Then u psi of r, then psi of the e term, psi of r minus delta rho, psi of r minus delta rho, നമ്മൾ അതിനെ എക്സ്പാൻഡ് ചെയ്ത് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ ഡോ ബൈ ഡോ യുവിനെ വി can write del, so we can write 1 minus delta rho dot del psi of r. നമുക്കതിനെ സിംപ്ലിഫൈ ചെയ്ത് നമുക്ക് ഓൾറെഡി we know that p equal to minus ih cross del, നമ്മൾ അതിനെ del equal to minus minus 1 by ih cross p എന്ന് എഴുതും. then I by I multiply I by I ചെയ്ത് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ we can write 1 minus I by ih cross delta rho dot p psi of r എന്ന് എഴുതാം, where p is the momentum operator. By comparing the left and right sides, we can write alpha equal to p by h cross, alpha equal to p by h cross, so that the unitary operator corresponding to the infinitesimal displacement delta rho is given by u of delta rho equal to 1 minus I by h cross delta rho dot p. Now this is the unitary operator. A finite displacement rho could be thought of as a succession of infinitesimal displacement. We obtain u of rho equal to e power minus ih I by h cross rho dot p. നമ്മൾ ഇതിനെ എക്സ്പൊണൻഷ്യൽ ഫോമിലേക്ക് മാറ്റിയതാണിത്. Thus the generator of translations in space is the linear momentum operator. So the generator of translation in space, this is a important point. The generator of translations in space is the linear momentum operator. The invariance of the Hamiltonian under such translations requires that the operator UP and hence the operator rho commute with h. So from the previous information we can write commutator ph equal to 0. They both commute, implies that the total linear moment of the system is conserved. The invariance of the Hamiltonian under such translation requires commutator ph equal to 0. In other words, conservation of the linear momentum of a physical system is a consequence of the translational invariance of the Hamiltonian of the system. Now the relation commutator ph equal to 0 will hold good only if h is independent of r. Other words, the system should be free from external force. The translational invariance of the Hamiltonian could also be expressed by saying that the transformed wave function psi prime of rt equal to up of rho psi of rt satisfy the same Schrodinger equation as psi of rt. That means applying u to the Schrodinger equation, we know the Schrodinger equation IH cross dou psi by dou t equal to h psi. Now after the applying the unitary operator or transformed equation, we can write IH cross dou by dou t of psi prime equal to UH. Here we can write psi prime as u psi of rt. U psi of rt. U is independent of the time t. Then we can write u h psi of rt. Then right hand side we can write h u psi of rt. H psi of rt. After the transformation we can write dou psi prime by dou t equal to h psi prime. H psi prime we can write u psi of rt. Then u psi of rt becomes hu psi of rt. Then we will get uh equal to hu. We have already got this expression, uh equal to hu. Then another next topic is displacement in time, conservation of energy. For displacement in space leading to the conservation of momentum, linear momentum. Displacement in time leads to the conservation of energy. We know the time evolution operator u of t equal to 0, which when it operates on the get psi of t, psi of t 0, it transforms to get psi of t. We have already know this expression. That means get psi of t equal to u of t t0 get psi of t0. Okay, that means the time evolution operator transforms a time independent wave function into a time dependent wave function with where u of t t0 equal to e power minus I t minus t0 h by h cos. The operator we already defined that u is a linear unitary operator. Therefore, we can reduce into this as u of tau equal to e power I by h cross tau h. Displacement in time is also continuous transformation and is therefore unitary. The operator corresponding to the infinitesimal displacement delta tau in time of the physical system is given by u of delta tau equal to expand ചെയ്ത് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ 1 minus I by h cross higher terms നമ്മൾ നെഗ്ലക്റ്റ് ചെയ്തു delta tau h e power x നെ എക്സ്പാൻഡ് ചെയ്താൽ മതി. The effect of the displacement tau on the wave function psi of t of the system is given by, that means this unitary operator, time evolution operator acting on the psi of t, psi of t, it transforms into a new wave function psi prime of t, and we can write that as psi of t minus tau. This means that the events corresponding to time t in psi corresponding to time t plus tau in psi prime. Okay, understood? It means that the events corresponding to time t in ket psi, t in ket psi corresponding to the t plus tau in the psi prime. Two different frames for this as a transformation equation. The invariance of the Hamiltonian under translation in time requires that UH equal to HU. This is important point. The invariance of Hamiltonian under translation in time requires that UH equal to HU. U is a time evolution operator, unitary operator, which also results in the same Schrodinger equation psi prime t as for psi of t. The time independence of H means that the total energy of the physical system is conserved. Okay, that the total energy of the system is conserved if the system is invariant under translation in time and vice versa. That means the total energy of the system is conserved if the system is invariant under translation in time and vice versa. Then rotation in space corresponds to the conservation of angular momentum. But time related to the energy, position related to the momentum, rotation related to the conservation of angular momentum. The unitary operator corresponding to a rotation of the physical system through an angle theta about the axis n is given by u n theta equal to rn rotation rn of theta equal to e power നമ്മൾ നേരത്തെ ചെയ്ത അതേപോലെ തന്നെ നമ്മളിവിടെ എടുക്കും e power minus I by h cross theta n dot j, where j is the operator corresponding to the total angular momentum of the system. Hence, the invariance of the Hamiltonian under rotation in space UH equal to HU requires that the total angular momentum be constant of motion, that is JH equal to commutator JH equal to 0. In other words, conservation of angular momentum is a consequence of the rotational invariance of the system. Now we go to the space inversion, parity operator. Space inversion is the operation in which the axes of the reference frame are reflected at the origin. You see this image, left hand, right-handed system turned into left-handed system and vice versa. These two types of coordinate systems are mirror images of each other. A physical system which is invariant under space inversion is said to possess reflection symmetry or lack chirality. This means that phenomena associated with the system will look the same irrespective of the handedness of the coordinate system in which they are observed. In other words, there is parity between the system and its mirror image. Space inversion is, for the reason, also called parity operation. The corresponding transformation is discrete. Now, an element of the physical system which has the position vector r in the original coordinate system has the position vector r prime equal to minus r in the inverted coordinate system. Okay. The velocity dr by dt and the momentum p, they change sign under the mirror operation, parity operation. That means r becomes minus r, minus dr by dt, p becomes minus p. But the angular momentum minus r cross minus p, minus minus cancelled, becomes r cross p, will not change sign. Thus the parity operator u, again we consider an operator u, a unitary operator, would be defined by the relation r prime equal to a transformation equation. Okay, u dagger ru, after the operation it transform into minus r. The previously it was r, now it is minus r. Similarly for momentum, u dagger p up equal to minus p, then u dagger, yes, the angle rotation, it is invariant, u dagger s u equal to s, no change after the transformation. S for spin, rotation. Here up is both unitary and Hermitian, therefore we can set, now we are changing u as p, or some books you can find the notation pi, capital letter pi. Pi or p represents the parity, that is the eigenvalues of p are plus or minus 1. Thus if psi of r is an eigenvector of p, then p dagger psi of r equal to p psi of r equal to psi of minus r equal to plus or minus psi of r. Here the positive sign represents the even or positive parity, negative sign represents odd or negative parity. Of course, a physical state need to have a definite parity only if the Hamiltonian is invariant under parity operation. An operator also be characterized as odd or even depending on whether or not changes sign under the parity operation. The operator A is odd if PA P dagger equal to minus A, then the operator A is odd, or AP plus PA. We operate P on the right side, so P dagger P equal to 1 equal to P dagger P. We operate P on the right side of this both expressions, so we can PA P dagger P equal to minus AP, P dagger P equal to 1 minus AP, then it brings into the left side, it becomes AP. So we can write AP plus PA, that is anti-commutator. Okay, it equals 0. Then even if it becomes even if PA P dagger equal to A. Again we operate P on the right side, then AP PA minus AP equal to 0. Then we can compute that A is even or odd according as it commutes or anti-commutes with P. Then time reversal invariance. The reversibility of the laws of physics implies that given state of physical system at a particular time is always possible to work out uniquely both its future and its past. Time reversal. Okay. In time reversal operation, t tends to minus t. Under such an operation, the velocity changes sign. Dx by dt, t becomes minus, then my velocity changes time, but the position coordinates is not affected, x does not change its sign, thus denoting the time reversal operator tau we have r prime equal to tau r tau dagger becomes r. The position is doesn't change, and momentum changes, it becomes minus p. Then because velocity changes sign, then here spin changes sign. In the time reversal, rotation changes, it is variant. Only the displacement is invariant because it is r cross p. R doesn't change, p changes sign, so minus r cross p, that is s. The time reversal transformation is given by tau. This is the time reversal operator acting on the psi. Then we will get the new wave function reversal psi. Then we can write psi star r minus t. This is an important point. That is the wave function. In the case of wave function, after the time reversal operation, wave function becomes the complex conjugate transpose of r minus t. Okay, thank you.